Hi guys, it's Jamie here. Welcome back to my channel and a very, very happy diabetes week. I've been umming and ahhing about whether I should or want to make this video, but I thought it's diabetes week, I better say something. So here we go. 1,826. That's roughly how many days I've had to deal with type 1 diabetes. Nearly 2,000 days of weighing food, mental maths, of hypos and hypers, of sleepless nights, and a couple of mood swings here and there. That's 5 years that I've lived with this condition that almost changed everything in my life. And now that I've reached this milestone, I wanted to see how much I've really changed. But first, let's take you back to where it all began. October of 2015 was a very big year for me. In 2015, I graduated from university. I was working as a presenter on a local TV channel, and I was able to very quickly shift all of that weight that I'd put on from 3 years of binge drinking every week at university. But as I was throwing myself into my very exciting new job, I failed to realize that I was actually quite ill. I was on death's door, and I didn't realize.
I'm in hospital. I've been diagnosed as diabetic. It's a complete shock. I had no idea.
You see, I was suffering with diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA, the 3 letters that you don't ever want to hear if you're type 1 diabetic. That's when you know that you are in real trouble, and I didn't know for many weeks. That's why I got so ill and ended up in hospital. Luckily, just at the right time. But for my first few years with type 1 diabetes, I was obsessed with the numbers. I was neurotic. It was all I ever cared about. I'd freak out if my blood sugar was a little bit raised, so I'd give myself a load of insulin, and then I'd have a hypo, and then the cycle would repeat itself. It was exhausting. It took up almost all of my energy, and I'd spend the day battling my blood sugar and trying to keep up with work, and in the end of all of that, I'd just spend the weekends doing nothing. I've always been ambitious, but for the first time, I was limited. For the first time, I couldn't be working full steam ahead, working into the night, because that had consequences physically on my body. And in turn, I started to realize that all my actions had consequences. I don't mind saying now that back in 2015, I was ruthlessly ambitious. I'd wanted to work in TV for as long as I could remember. And now that I had my foot in the door, I was going for it without a care for the people around me and what all of that stress I was putting myself under was doing to me. So I began to care less about the future, and I started to think about the now. I started to become more grateful for the people around me and the opportunities that I've got in front of me right now. I began to feel happier because of that. I began to form stronger relationships with my friends and my family, and if I'm honest, with myself. I tried really hard to never consider type 1 diabetes as a barrier, but in reality it is. If I want to live a full and healthy life, it's going to take effort. I have to work for everything, for that meal that I want to eat, for that half marathon that I want and further on regret that I've run. I have to work for all of that, and if I don't put all the effort in, I'll suffer the consequences. So 5 years of not having everything come so easy to me, I think has been really beneficial. Of course, living with type 1 diabetes is annoying, and there are so many times that I wish it would just go away, but it's because of type 1 diabetes that I'm fitter than I've ever been in my life. I'm more grateful than I've ever been in my life. And I feel like finally I'm probably on the right path. It's because of diabetes that I have this purpose of knowing where I want to go and what I want to do. And in that 5 years, I've presented hundreds of hours of live TV. I've spent a month filming in Norway for a travel documentary. I launched a podcast for people that are just like me, that thousands of people listen to. So I've done things that I'm really proud of, in a way that I'm proud of too. So I'm still ambitious, but now in a much more different way. I'm more conscious and considerate about how to achieve my goals and go about allowing myself to be ambitious. So yeah, diabetes nearly killed me. And I'm sure it'll have a go again. But I think probably that type 1 diabetes made me a better person. So that's what I've got to say this Diabetes Week. This is me reflecting on just 5 years with the condition. And I'm sure that opinion will change and grow, and I'll be reflecting something different in another 5 years' time. But if you live with type 1 diabetes or another long-term health condition, what do you think that it's given to you? I'm the sort of person that likes to find a little bit of good in every situation as much as I can. And it's something that I try to do with my type 1 diabetes a lot. I feel like that is what gives me a lot of emotional strength with it. So this video was another exercise in that, but let me know in the comments box below, what do you get from type 1 diabetes that's not so negative? How has it benefited your life in a weird way? But that's all I've got to say today here on my channel. Thanks for watching this video. I hope to see you back again for another one sometime soon. Bye-bye.